Alright. Well, I finally did it. I got a mentor. So much more direction right now. I would say the biggest mistake I made so far is not seeking out help. I spent 2 years in the same self improvement loop, trying to think that if I do self improvement and get better at it, I can somehow change my life within a year. But all that ever does is keep me comfortable. I was getting comfortable with the work that I was putting. 4 a.m. runs became easy. Workout sessions became fun rather than a thing to do. So it was all these things that felt easy. I wasn't feeling any pressure at all because the saying, pressure is a privilege. And I wasn't given that privilege. I was living in complete comfort. And I know it might sound crazy, discipline being comfortable. It has gotten to that stage of my life because I've been doing this for a long time. And this is what has happened. Discipline became a comfortable thing. But I'm really excited. I got the mentor. I finally have some sort of direction now. Now self improvement can be shoved to the side. I just do the basics. So there isn't any overthinking. I just have the same mindset and put in the work into the main thing, which is what the mentorship is for. And I'm glad. I don't know whether you're resonating with this, but the reason I'm doing all this at a very young age, I'm in my 20s right now, I just turned 20, is that when you're in school, well, I'm still in school, most kids use the time to chase good grades, listen to their parents, have fun, join clubs, all these things. And they don't really work on their character and put themselves in pressure as much. I was watching one of Robert Greene's podcast and he mentioned something about youth not being, well, not going through enough pressure. Not the bad pressure, but the good pressure that you need for transformation. And he said that the youth must put as much pressure as possible on themselves at a very young age because that builds character that nothing else will ever teach. And that's what I'm doing. If I can lock in on a skill right now while doing the self improvement and maximizing my character while making a shit ton of money, by the time I graduate, I won't be like every other kid who is searching for a job or maybe rotting at home. Those are the two kind of graduates that are out there. Once they finish high school, they either rot at home and doom scroll or get a job. It's two of those things. And I didn't really want that. And especially because I'm living in Singapore, you have to go for army afterwards. I don't want to be that guy who finishes army and only then is, well, underprepared for the world. I want to be that guy who has not much of fear after all these things when I'm placed right at the gates of the real world. I want to be at least prepared in some sort of way with my financial life solidified. Skill sets are there. My health is booming. Because not many people are willing to achieve all these things before they step into the real world. I'm doing all these things because I see a future where I'm constantly building, improving, and I'm just obsessed with growing my mind. That's why I can't stagnate. I need to do something right now. And what better thing to do than putting myself in pressure right now at this age with the time that I have. So what if I'm going to school? So what if I'm scraping through my classes? As long as it teaches me something. A short story. About a year back, I attended this part time sales role. It was a telemarketer job. Worst thing ever. 3 weeks, I got fired. But those 3 weeks taught me more than what 2 years of self improvement did. Not the books, not the podcasts, not the workouts, but 3 weeks of intense pressure, getting on calls, having a shitty boss, And the knowledge that I acquired from self improvement gave me more perspective on how the corporate world was like, the power ladders, hierarchies, people, and it widened everything. So I enjoyed those 3 weeks, even though it was grueling. It was emotionally tiring, but it changed me. And my biggest regret is not staying long enough. It wasn't about the money, it wasn't about clocking in hours, but staying long enough in the pressure. So, the biggest learning I can share with you is that if you're young, or it doesn't matter if you're young or not, you need to put yourself in some sort of pressure, especially if you're young. I don't care if you're in school, and don't give me the excuse that I have school and I have to focus on that. If you really want something in life, you have to put yourself under pressure. It doesn't have to be life and death, but it can simply be juggling a business or a job or something that you're working on aside from school, because that builds pressure, right? Like, think about all the D1 athletes out there who are balancing school and sports. That is a form of pressure. That is why they come out differently compared to all the other graduates, because they're doing something aside from what's given to them. They're adding pressure to their lives. That's the only learning point I can give you. It's that. So yeah, I'm just excited, man. I can't wait to document more, feel real pressure again. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Ciao.